So a lot of my older clients who have transitioned over to Windows 10 have not transitioned over very well. They find it Windows 10 is hard to use. It's not Windows 7 or Windows XP for that matter. And things are not where they're supposed to be. The list of complaints goes on, and it's not that they're wrong. Change for anyone is difficult, and no one likes change. Myself, and this is probably true for most people in Facebook recently changed how the design and layout for Facebook was. Now, Facebook, I don't want to say bless their soul, but they dumped it onto me probably about a month before they dumped it onto the rest of the world, so I got to see the change in advance. And you can still go back to the old format for a little while yet, but yeah, it took a while for me to adjust to the new format, and there are still functions that you can't do on the new version of Facebook that you can do on the old one, but they are catching all those little things and making those changes. But again, going back to the original problem, people say that they don't like Windows 10, and really Windows 10 is probably about as close as you can get to Windows 7 of the operating systems. When Windows 8 came out, it was a complete and utter disaster because whoever was in charge of that project, they decided that they wanted to make the operating system that was more like your phones and tablets, and they were trying to grab the younger generation. Of course, the younger generation has phones and tablets are what the younger generation are used to. They're not used to computers so much. And so they designed Windows 8 to be more like a tablet or a phone, and completely disregarded my generation, the generation above me, and those people who use computers all the time. So you had to drive into the corners and get the mouse. So we ended up adding a lot of add-ons to clients who had Windows 8 to give it more of a Windows 7 feel. And we still do this for Windows 10. And like I said, the biggest complaint we've got to this is, they say, well, things aren't where they're supposed to be, and things are not. Yeah, perfect example. Let's look at Microsoft Edge down here. Of course, if you've got the old Edge, it is a blue E. If you're still using Internet Explorer, which has been retired, it's a different color blue E, but it's got a halo around it. And then they changed over to this. So, yeah. But one of the things that we're often, like I said, the biggest complaint we hear from people is that, and this is from a previous video, so excuse that. So, like I said, the biggest thing we hear from people in my generation and the generation above me, which is like the baby boomers and stuff like that, they hate Windows 10 because it's not Windows 7 or it's not Windows XP. Why do they have to change it? Well, they have to change it for enhanced security and so on and so forth. But the biggest complaint I get, like I said, is this. This is your start button on Windows 10. Almost everyone knows this now. And this is the menu. Most everyone knows this now, but it's not the menu we're all used to. If you had in the days of XP and in the days of 7, this was a more streamlined one. So they left this in more for the appeasement of the younger generation, because they are, with phones, they're used to tiles and icons. And as us older generations, we're used to this. But even this drives people nuts. And so I'll show you this real quick. Again, this is going back over to nightnight.com. So we're going to go over to nightnight.com. And everyone can do this. This is free. When you're successfully there, this is what it should look like. If you're not seeing this, don't go there. Check your address. But yeah, we're going to go down to, and we're going to put a check mark in the classic shell. And this is the reason why we're going to click Get Night Night. It's going to download, and it's done. We're going to open it, and it's going to install. Once it starts popping up like this, you can close your browser or minimize it. We're going to allow it to make changes. Downloading classic install, and you can see it's doing that there. Installing. Okay, so we're going to click close. if this is what you want, that's what you want. That's Classic Shell. Very, very, very much like Windows XP. In this particular case, you know, you've got the icons that you're accustomed to, your shortcuts here that you're probably accustomed to, your control panel, PC settings is for Windows 10, obviously, you know, network connections. If this is what you want your start button to do, that's your solution. And that program is free. Now, a little caveat. Every time your Windows 10 updates, and it's a major update, you're going to get a notice when the computer restarts. Classic Shell needs to be updated. Click yes, allow changes, and Classic Shell will reset to the updated version of Windows. If you find that, you know, for the younger generation, if you see this on a computer and you're like clueless, and yes, I've seen that, the original start menu is here. Ta-da. So don't be alarmed. It doesn't completely take it away. It just suppresses it with a different one. If you find that those options are not quite what you're looking for, you can go into settings. You right click on the start button, you go into settings. And like I said, what was there was, you know, basically the classic 2-column style, very similar to the days of XP. This is the Windows 7 style. We're going to click that and click OK. Yeah, but it didn't exactly do it. But, you know, that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to give it a more of a Windows 7 feel. But a lot of people are just, the classic is fine. You know, classic 2-column is what most people are used to. If you are really an XP person, you know, you had the one button option, which is this. And then you went here. This is the days of XP. And so this is what you're looking for. Yeah, that's what you're doing. You know, so again, there's a couple of different options there. If you want to replace your start button with something different, you can do that too. I do see this one pop up a lot. I see this one on occasion too. Of course, you can add your own custom stuff. You will probably never go into this, but it's just different settings and different skins. But yeah, most people who are making that transition over to Windows 10 are just having a really, really difficult time with Windows 10. We put this on their computers, and like I said, you could do it yourself. I just showed you how to do it through Night Night, and yeah, it gives them this, and you'd be so surprised how much this actually helps them adapt. So the only difference that's with this one, and I will give this to you now, is when you do the shutdown, it looks the same here, but when you're going to actually do it, it may, on a shutdown, it'll pop up a box in the center of the screen to ask you to confirm. But for just restarting the computer, you see it does it just like it's supposed to. So yeah, if you found that helpful and useful, or like I said, go to Night Night, download the Classic Shell and install it. That's the only advice I can give you. Adding stuff to your bottom toolbar, when your programs are automatically installing, they usually put something there, and if they don't do something of that nature, you can usually find the icon to do right-click pin to taskbar, or you can ask me to do a remote with you, and I can remote it and set that up for you. So yeah, just things to make your interface with your Windows 10 computer a little bit easier if you're still stuck on the Windows 7 or Windows XP time frame for computers. So it's just, it is what it is. And so, you know, coming back into the studio, you see me do the restart on the Classic Shell. Works just like it always did. So yeah, not, you know, if that helps you, great. I am finding out though, again, when the paid background here loads up, you'll see it here. You know, I've got our like, share, and subscribe buttons. And I've shown in a previous video how to add the desktop shortcut to your desktop for YouTube, so you can get to our channel quickly. But if you wanted to, if you've got Facebook, you can go over here and like our page. And what I've been doing is every day when the videos post out, and I remember, I will post a link on our Facebook page here, and then if you've liked our page, obviously you'll get a notification. I really don't like doing email subscription. If I have enough of demand for it, I will do it, but I'm just not a big fan on that. So again, like, share, subscribe. There's our Facebook questions. There's our phone number and address. Yeah, if you've got questions, comments, you need to change the way the computer works, you could do that. Like I said, you can leave comments and questions in the comment section below the video, or you can go over to Facebook and leave them there, or you can call me if you want to just give me a call. So if you guys have any other questions or ideas or suggestions or things to talk about, I'm all up for it. So you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you later.